Good morning. In case of the application form, the maturity of understanding the Dinken, Deacon or Dinken, I don't know, it's Duncan, Lakalang, Dutum. The third vocabulary is that once we have positioned our tracer to perform the reference number, we are zonking into a maturity to understand the refusion of the Saipa Kansan. The Saipa Kansan is an Angla and Puntung of Medlang, and in that time, once we have the maturity to understand the refusion of Dantung and Katsan is a work path in relation to and essay, relation to a Dulu. The Dulu is a Wakal and Kasam in relation to Dalang and third party outlaw. In time, once we have the oil in relation to Dulkun and Kansa, is a Balla and Tata in relation to the third technology, and the third technology is based upon the Antatan. The development of the third technology is that once we know the Palanka and Tinshalu and Tashala is a Mantan in relation to development of the third party insurance policy. The third party insurance policy is based upon your Lankang, loneliness of the days. Loneliness of the days is that once we have an infusion based upon the Cybertron, the Maki of the Lanka is a Dutulung in relation to a vision, and the vision is not a virtual machine but is a eta, and the eta is based on Tuntun and Gantang and Dudlung and Tangtang. So in that way, the relationship to build the third party has been forming itself into the position of a data technology. The data technology is based upon the refusion of interlay technology and also conjunction of Dunnu. The understanding of life is based on the third 1-on-1 and 3-on-3 and 2-on-4 and 3-on-6, which is a Malala. The Malala is based upon the Akata and Tulu, and also in relay of the deployment. Deployment. Anyway, in time, once we network the orchestra in relation to the noun of a fun, the transition of the data lay will actually be performing itself into the Dotuntu and Tuntanta and Tunkutu in relation to Duntun. But the third party has not been working as yet in relation to development of the inking system and also in relation to the provision to claim your law. And when you claim your law based upon the intuition of Zonki or Aha is a Niti or Aha in relation to a waiver. And the waiver based upon the intuition of the conferment of life is that once we know the the knowing of is that more often in so by Ankang and Onlo is a pulse of plastic. The pulse of plastic is based upon the Saipala, and the Saipala is based upon the meat butcher. And in time, once we know Jewish in relation to Rubai, the Pakistan and Agana is a Totolo in relation to the army and also to guard the next development of Dolong by deploying into the riches of craft and to indicate your utility to math condition of Bullock and Tantan. In that way, once we have the reverse mirror of Dontong and Tasha is a Kanda in relation to third round to indicate the flip-flop switch out throughout the turn in and in out off on so in so forming into knowing of in K Lakku and Luhu and Ninta. The revision to support the co-cast is that once we have the subcast, we can also Lazar the Nunu and Tulu in relation to proclaiming the law in relation to parameters, peptide. And in that time with the metrics in relation to 2IN and 5IN and 6IN and 21.92IN is a CM plus CM plus OZ plus CM functioning into matrix CM plus 5M plus CM plus 2IN plus 2IN indicating 4-cell cybertrack. The cybertrack based upon the beacon is that the Katasana participating into Dolong Tanta. And in that time, once we have that in relation to the third party of a wicked walk, the indication of Ching Chong is that the Pankang and Dasha is Lutu in relation to Mankana. The Mankana is Langkang Dulu, Jishin Dota, Dulukang Trashana, Lolokchung Dala, and Dushinong Dalo. Sand of soil, no. Condition of Dongtong. The condition of Dongtong is that once the cybersex has been measured in relation to the matrix by gamma is BLF321 and BLF4321 in relation to indexing and also 2833 throughout 2222 from knowing CL53 and CL41 in relation to cyber. Well, condition of Malang is a dollar in relation to being with me, but in case we don't work out, we cannot know what to know of in relation to Dantung. What does that sound like? I can't help you, I'm sorry, but you can figure it out. Anyway, Harvest Station is a beautiful amount of production income service. And the production income service is that once we know the Unkontu and the Ankanta and the Luksu and the Dununu and the Dalala and the Dushulu and the Dutuntun and the Nata Dutu Lakatsan Tutu is a Bongka in relation to switch armor knife or army knife. Which one? Switch army. One of those. Switch knife for campers. So in time, once we have the correction of the plexi, it is the ancestral in relation to its own isolation of absorption and Victor into metrics by 3821 cm and 3824 fm and C821 am and 28C4 fm and 2841 in and drone. So in that way, with the third party policy in relation to the infusion of cybertron, it is the intuition of Dan Murphy for the right correcture of cook stuff and to indicate into the percentages of alcatron. No, alcohol. No, I'm not going to change the word alcohol. It's just alcohol. So in time with THC Corp, the indication of productivity is that each insurance policy being the one to know the know of is that once we know the know of in relation to so in, knowing so out is an indication of knowing so without approval from my mom. What? So in so, without that way, we are not conflicting the default infrastructure of Java and to indicate into knowing the know of, and in so, once we know knowing the know of, we are absorbing the composition of infrastructure. And in relation to that dude on Hellboy, the one with all the eyes and no eyes on his face, I don't know his name. I just call him Sika. Sika. Sika is a revision of the 51 mother, daughter, brother, child. The mother, daughter, brother, child is based upon the branch of third 321 and third 324 and third 321 and third 328 and third 339 and third 324 and third 321 indication absorption, something like that. And in that time, with the linking system of synthetics, is based upon the polyester to indicate 92 and 58 value of the bra strap by laces and to indicate the psychology of third econon. And in so, without knowing what to know of, my man, is that will you be the one for me to approve your applicable interaction of mother, sister, child, brother, and indication of interaction, mother, friend, daughter, child, parent, indication to the directory of C121284 and C5C121284. Compliance of branches in relation to the stem and to mature the roots of the blueprint in relation to content. And in that way, once we know the Ankasul by our ancestors is the Malalakasa, that you will never know of knowing without knowing the never know of, and in so and so out, once you know physics in relation to absorption or absorb, and by heat wave, by Tuntung, is identical to position the teeth of the truth. The teeth of the truth? Your Majesty, once I have been blessed by ignited. The teeth of the truth is that when you give me a kiss, is it true or ivory? Wait, gum? No, impossible. Humans don't have ivory teeth. No, does different God has ivory? Or just a trunk? Just a boneless thing. So when an elephant dies, we cannot get it. No. So, okay, what happened when an elephant dies and then the trunk is there and no one gets it? Is it like rubbish? It looks like rubbish. So when there's rubbish, where would we throw them? In the ocean or mangoes? What does that mean? In the ocean or mangoes? Well, if he has a dirty trunk, you still have a little bit of stain. So if you eat mango and then still have a lot of dirty stuff, or whatever you call it, stain in his teeth, in the trunk, and when he dies, what's gonna happen with the trunk? Like with his brotherhood. I don't know. Is it worth it, you reckon? Because if an elephant die and it just dies off and then later on it's just a whole dead thing laying on the bush. So the whole dead thing laying on the bush, so we probably go and make a graveyard. When we bury the elephant, what the hell for? And how about if the elephant get all dried up and become decoy? So an elephant becomes decoy, what's inside of the elephant? All the organs will just go off and it stinks. And if all the organ goes off, who's going to eat the organs? And after that, once it get decoy into the next level, the skin's still there, and the organ's still there, and the trunk is still there. So what happens after that? By autopsy. You cannot autopsy a monkey. Huh? You cannot autopsy an elephant. Can you autopsy a monkey or an elephant if you found a dead stuff? Just dead? Well, rules of regulation in relation to the dead possum. We do just sweep it up and then go and do autopsy. Interesting, isn't it? I didn't do it. I mean, for example, if a possum goes down and a car drives past and have an accident and is dead. So which rules will you make in that way? Is it the driver's fault and then autopsy, or it was just dead and no rules? TAC. So the next example is, I've seen stuff on TV a while ago that driving at night time to the country bush, that if there is a kangaroo that just want to go across the road, the cat goes and then crash into the kangaroo. Or a wombat. A wombat is one of the not native animal. The koala is, but I've seen it in the past, driving through, and all of a sudden, poor bugger. So, what rules? You have to ask Fint, the god, because he's an elephant. But you can't crash into the elephant, no, because it's a massive elephant. But does elephant get attacked by lions or anything? I don't know. But when they do, all the flesh goes away and it's just like a bone, like in Outlander, the whale, the bone. What happens after that? It's just, I don't know. I can't make rules with autopsy, but I love autopsy. I can't make rules with autopsy. Oh, so here's another example, TAC. Possum, kangaroo, wombat, koala. If there's just a dead piece of thing on the road, and if you have a tire print, you know it's a car or a truck. So do you actually leave it Or do you actually get a road worker to scope it up and put in the bin? Or just let ants and birds eat them? Rules? You have to ask Fint for the rules. No Ong, because he's an elephant. Yes. So in that way, if you find any, when you go to the country town, dead kangaroo, koala, wombat, it's just... Did the wombat used to be on coins? I don't know. But if it's a tire print, you know, it actually got crashed accidentally because it just want to go across the road. So, do we do autopsy? Interesting, isn't it? But the rules is, if you think like that, you probably want to kill them and just drive to the country and crash one of the kangaroo and do autopsy. That means fingerprint. Fingerprint. Fingerprint is an element of absorbing into its autopsy and to indicate what that's how it looks in relation to a dead body. Yes. So when it looks like that, if there's any kind of movement, still, it's just a nerve. If an animal has a dead brain or the brain's empty, it's just the nerves still go. But since there's no brain, where does the nerve is? So when we do autopsy, maybe we know which one's a male and female. But if we ever find one, we can put price tag, can we? No. I've seen on the TV. In relation to animals, sometimes they have tags, or on the ear. Even cows, they're like... So, autopsy. Autopsy is that, based upon Green Lantern, the evilness is like 9.2 million years. So, if you can indicate one cyber, or one cell, or one whatever you call it, that he's evil, then you win. Yeah? But he's a nice guy though. He's evil because look at his interaction. He just wants to defend himself. Is that kind of evil? Don't know. If you review the director's cut in relation to theoretical version, is that if a lapse overwhelming the cyber and indication the organs to know what the flesh is and auto run the lapping of overwhelming indecency of abbreviation by knowing which vertical abuse is and to indicate where he was sorted in relation to the evil. And in so, knowing the knowing of, that in 9.2 million years, who is gonna be? Don't know. And what kind of evil is it from that? He's only got one. Murderer? Of course not murderer. He's part of the good team. And being part of the good team and having one evil cell, is it he got infected or possessed or not? I don't think so. It's just knowing how to orphan the parent child in relation to the Cybertron is that he wanted to save himself, but the baddie killed him. He wanted to save himself, he defend himself, etc. So, why did the baddie want to kill him? It's just visual autopsy. Visual autopsy. Visual autopsy is that if we ever find one angel cell and one devil cell and third demon cell and 1.8 and half a point of gay and 2.8 and half a point of lesbian and 3.8 and 2.1 bisexual and 10% tranny and 21% of what? What is that result in relation to this one by autopsy? Is it he's gonna be beautiful in his next life? She's gonna be beautiful in her next life? Boneless. It means boneless. So in that way, his dead body is just like on the road or wherever it is. And then if it's boneless, what's Finn gonna do? Is there a trunk? What's boneless? Who eats flesh? Ants? Birds? Crocodiles? Anything? Because it's just left over. So when there's a dead body, it's just left over. Here's another example. If I walk past a normal passenger road and I was drunk and off my teeth, and all of a sudden I just like go like this across the road and a car ran and body's dead. Is that autopsy? What is the rules, TSC? Next example is when I pressed the pedestrian button, I was in a hurry to go and have lunch or pick up my children or go to work, and all of a sudden the car drove past and my body is half boneless dead based upon the nerves, but my brain is completely fried, disappeared. So, is that regulation of intuition of autopsy by indicating? And how would you identify what actually damaged the body? So when it's damaged, by what? Accidentally, how can you pay to the parent-child because he wasn't married or she wasn't married, and being the percentages of autopsy, is that gain relief? Gain relief? What is gain relief in relation to autopsy? C 531. But from this one, has the bone been damaged? Boneless? Asphalt. But when is there been damage based upon scintillating into a barbecue being boneless? Is that beef or cow? I don't get it. Beef or cow? Harvestation through beef or cow by Constantine is that The dead cow is just a dead boneless body. What? The dead boneless body is that once there is a dead boneless body on the road or in the forest, how can we know the knowing of in so to overwhelm the cipher of sex availability to indicate the intuition of thoughts and indicating mathematically seen chalapta by director's cut to income the production of resources harvesting into third autopsy in relation to plastic chair. What does that mean? I'm not a surgery, but surgery. Your method in relation to saving people with broken legs and feet and etc. etc. What is your method to know the boneless things that has not been damaged? Don't get it? The boneless things has not been damaged. So since the boneless things has not been damaged, in which way will you compromise a broken thing? Thinking of thoughts is that based upon your policy. Being knowing what to know of is that you are identifying the fourth round by bulletproof vests to indicate hammer and often the politeness of road traps to indicate by car accident and applying for a coffin. Are you serious? Do I act like Flint God? I don't think so. But without rules in relation to autopsy, which way will you know in relation to knowing that if any of these are damaged or any cell used to be a faggot, lesbian, a dyke, or whatever you call it,